Adults of Reddit, what is something every teenager needs to know? Cashiers don't care if you buy condoms. As a cashier, I only found it funny when a guy came to buy chocolate and a pack of condoms on Valentine's Day. Or if they do, who gives a shit? 30 seconds later something else will happen, and they will literally never think of you again. Same goes for buying period stuffs if you're a girl. Edit. Or if you're anyone, buying anything, period supplies, condoms, meds, laxatives, etc. For the person in your life is kind and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. If you don't have a passion, learn new skills. You might find your passion or something you're good at. Good advice. Also, if you do have a passion, embrace it and don't be shy about it. Also, if your passion is something creative like art, design, woodworking, basically anything that has a visual aspect, be ready to expect unjust criticism, accept constructive criticism, and in my opinion most importantly, reject any sense of overconfidence in yourself. You think you are the best, you tend to not readily accept any criticism and start looking down on the work of others. Most of your friends are the product of geographic convenience. Just because you grew up being friends with a neighbor or a fellow student, doesn't mean you owe them your undying loyalty when they start treating you like shit. Learn to trust your gut when in strange situations. If something feels off wrong, it probably is. Don't go along with something if it feels wrong. And don't feel bad for not going along. Do what's right for you. Life moves very quickly after leaving school. Years go by so quickly. Edit. A lot of people have been saying this scares them. Please don't be scared. Adult life is great, but you just have to keep yourself active and doing different things. Just make sure to appreciate everything you have and try not to have regrets. I heard a saying once that always felt apt. The older you get, the longer the days, but shorter the years. There's always more to it. Right now isn't the be-all and end-all. Edit. I'd like to add that by no means as a teen should your feelings be downplayed, and this is not suggesting that your current issues are minimal. It's important to recognize how you're feeling, but also don't let it consume or dictate how you look towards your future. There is always going to be a better time. While you shan't believe those who say these gonna be the best years of your life, try to make the most of it, to enjoy the ride. Don't be ashamed of your hobbies and passions. Those who make fun of that can go fuck themselves. Every feeling you have deserves to be expressed in any constructive manner. Don't fear rejection from those you like. Love. Tell them and come what may. Whenever people talk about how these are supposed to be my best years of my life, it makes me sad because I can't see how this is my peak. Not having fun, I'm not experiencing anything and time is passing. The person you love at May 17th not be the person you love at 30. You change. They change. If you change together and are still on the same path, that's great, but allow yourselves to change, allow them to change, and reassess whether you're simply together for loyalty or because you still really want a future together with who you both are now. Basically, be willing to let love go. It doesn't mean you didn't love them. You both changed and it happens and it's kinda sad, but will just open you up to be yourself. I graduated 10 years ago from high school and none of those people are in my life now. So take your time being you and grow your self-esteem and talents now over wasting time trying to impress those pricks you won't even remember in a few months after graduation. Learn how to cook. It's way cheaper and usually faster than takeout. And does less damage to your health, provided you aren't just cooking out of a box all the time. People, employers, etc., will take advantage of your naivete. In many cases this will be illegal. Know your rights, so when the illegal shit happens you can recognize it. On top of that, stay on top of your finances and don't get into debt if you can avoid it. Living and lawyers both cost a lot of money and exercising your rights is so much harder if you are financially dependent on the person taking advantage of you. How to de-escalate difficult situations. And how to disagree with a teacher, someone in authority, without sounding like a know-it-all or in a condescending manner. For example, if a teacher says X and you are certain you learn differently, recognize that there may be certain circumstances that you may not realize that changes something. Lead the disagreement with a saying like, "Excuse me, I may be wrong, but I thought learned why." This kind of phrasing does not cause the other person to be on the defensive, which can allow gentle new instruction for you, or a graceful face-saving correction for the teacher. A situation with differing opinions doesn't have to be confrontational. The general advice to not be an a-hole will get you further in life than you would expect considering how easy it is. Don't put off dealing with mental health issues. Developing unhealthy coping mechanisms for emotional issues will fuck you up big time down the road. If you have issues, deal with it head on right away. It can take time, but start the work now. Also, save for retirement. Hold yourself to your own standards. If you wouldn't let anyone treat your friend's family like trash, then don't do it yourself. If you feel learning is a positive thing, then learn on the daily. If you value work and security, then give yourself security through work. If you expect others to be intelligent and to care, then you should be intelligent and caring. Hold yourself accountable for how you want the world to be. Be a part of the world you want to live in. When you get to driving, you need to realize that the laws of physics apply to you. They aren't out to get you, they're just indifferent. Slow the fuck down and don't horse around. You're driving a very heavy machine at speeds we did not evolve to deal with. Be safe. Advice is free, and if you respond to it with, "I know," then you're probably not gonna figure your problem out. Train yourself to say, "You're right," instead. I do this one all the time. The measure of whether someone has the potential to be a new friend of yours is not whether they like a bunch of things you like. It is entirely possible to become friends with people who like a ton of things you've never heard of, or even already decided you dislike. You are at a spot in life where a lot of your likes and dislikes are subject to change anyway. Biggest thing, making a new friend often takes time. Lots of time. Much longer than movies and shows make it look like. Find things to do, groups to join, city league sports to play, and keep learning about the people you see repeatedly. Far too many early 20s people who report having no friends made a premature judgment that one or more prospective friends were off the list, when it just needed a lot more time. It's okay to say no to anyone. Don't let anyone in your life guilt trip you into doing something you don't want to do or are uncomfortable with. Failing is okay. We know all the tricks. We were teenagers once before Oswell. Sometimes I hear friends saying, "If I do this trick, my mom would never know." Dude, your mom did that trick. My mom doing tricks is how I was born. I'm a teacher, but I was an awful student. But damn, I was charismatic and got away with a TON. I tell my students that. It's been 15 years now, and none of them have used an excuse or pulled a trick that I didn't do at their age, but better. The best part is when I let them get away with it, and they come back. "Haha, I tricked you." No, you didn't. I let it slide because you're depressed, but I saw right through you. Honestly, your teens are the perfect time to begin small on creating good habits that pay off big in the long run. 1. Save and or invest 10% of any money you receive. 2. Create a habit of exercising, even just small exercises, every day. 3. Brush your teeth. 4. Figure out what you enjoy. Read and try a lot of different things. Go to camps, or shadow any jobs you think you might be interested in. Sometimes the job you think you'd enjoy, you find out you have no interest in at all. This will save you a lot of money, like studying pre-med and learning you hate healthcare. 5. This is a difficult one as a teen, but try to establish a decent sleeping habit. Preferably one where you wake up early. I feel like I slept my teen years away. Edit. On number 5 I meant going to bed earlier and waking up earlier, not sleeping less. I realize teens need more sleep. 1. You're not the first person in the world to be a teenager, and feeling like no one understands you or what it's like. We've all been there. 2. Things can and do get better. No one really cares or remembers the petty shit that happened in high school. 3. Do not base your life and personality around social media, and the facade that you are trying to create. Live your life in reality. 4. Learn that the world will usually not lend you a hand, so you have to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Resilience, tenacity, and will. 5. Learn to budget. 6. Do not go into debt over stupid shit, saying you will pay it off later. 7. Do not decide your major or your life choices on what will make your family happy, rather, what makes you happy. 8. Try to enjoy the freedom of not having any bills, not having any major responsibilities. Everyone is smart, just at different things. People can be book smart, or people smart, or machine smart, etc. But the difference between successful people and not so much is the application and dedication you give. My nephew is 9 and his dad is already calling him dumb, which is insane because that kid is so quick. He understands things rapidly. But he doesn't like school right now. This is something I just told him. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing it's stupid. If you judge a monkey by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing it's a genius. If you judge a human by its ability to climb a tree, you probably shouldn't work in education. Get a marketable skill. Unskilled labor sucks. You need something that's going to pay you. It doesn't have to be your life's passion, contrary to what my peers were saying at that age, but you do need to be able to tolerate it. It's exactly as lame to not do something you want to do because it's too mainstream or popular as it is to do something only because it's cool and the cool kids are doing it. When someone says you can't do something in life, it means they can't do it, not that you can't. This is going to sound cliché, but just be yourself. Having friends is important, but don't act like them just to fit in. You may not entirely know who you are yet, and by not being yourself, you're going to lose your true self in the mix. If you're lucky, it'll take many years and a lot of soul searching to even bring back your uniqueness, and then clump that all together to learn who you truly are. I made this mistake. I'm 37 now. It took me 20 years to undo everything, because in college and afterwards, I was a chameleon changing my personality with each group of friends I was with. I had no idea who I was. It took a lot of work on my self-esteem to recorrect my thought process. Also, try to enjoy life, responsibly of course. You can have some great, fun, and happy years as a teenager. Figure out what activities you love most to do, and do them. Hang out with positive people. Put yourself first. You're going to get hurt, but the feelings will pass, I promise. Learn a second language. It's good for your brain, and it's a lot easier when you're young. Get active and fit, make it a habit. This is one of the most important ways to stave off cognitive decline as you get older. Plus, it's great for managing mental health during the transition to adulthood. What is something every teenager needs to know? Leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.